Hey mama, are you a multi-passionate mom who is juggling all the things, nursing a baby, battling laundry, trying to keep it together and keep a spicy marriage, and feeling like you're feeling all of it? What's up? I'm Ashley Carroll. I'm here to hold your hand through this process because I believe when you're ready to take control of your life, beat the limiting excuses, step into your own power, you can not only survive, but you can thrive. But you're gonna have to show up for yourself. It's time for me to tough love your way through prioritization, taking self-care seriously, getting rid of excuses, reconnecting with your family, kids, and spouse, and quite honestly, learning to love the chaos because the glory is in the journey. It's in the mess. In this podcast, you will find balance for busy mamas, navigating mom guilt, time management strategies, and everything in between with no fluff and lots of fun. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. You guys watch Instagram. Clearly I have a problem if I'm watching Instagram like TV. The Rambling Redhead, I need like some sort of like line, just like she says, you know, she goes like by this slogan line of good morning every time she gets on Insta, and I don't have one. I'm so not cool. It has been a dang minute since I've released an episode, but here we are. I was doing live videos every day, live trainings every day in the So She Grows Mom Community Facebook group. And then I was really focused on building out this marriage transformation workshop that is going down starting this Wednesday with a small group of women. I'm really excited to navigate marriage and relationships with them. And so I was really focused on that, while I'm going to be very honest with you, feeling extremely unmotivated and zero energy. Like after those lives went down, I was just like, and I'm done. Like I look back and I'm like, I really was only live like every day for 30 minutes. And I planned out the content, yes, and I poured a lot of work into it and like a lot of thought into it. But I'm like, surely that didn't make me like exhausted. And, you know, obviously there's other mom things that are at play and life things, and I just wasn't in it. I don't know what was the deal, but I was like, you know what? I can't be the only one struggling through this. And then also feeling like I'm going down this spiral of I shouldn't, like shame and like questioning myself of why I feel this way. And like, oh my gosh, I'm doing nothing. And just being ashamed that like my husband was gone all day working and like I only managed to think about taking a nap and then folding a few towels and then deciding that I had to actually take a nap so I could stop thinking about taking a nap because I was getting nothing done, and then I still got nothing done. Right? And then I felt like this extreme guilt about it. And then I was just like, man, I need to get out of this cycle. What is going on? So here we are, an episode on how to gain energy and motivation when you're a stay-at-home mom. First things first, my mistake was assuming that there would be something like external, something out there that would all of a sudden magically motivate me and give me energy, whether it was like the weather or I don't know. I was just waiting for something. Like, honestly, have you guys felt that where you're just like, okay, any minute now, I'm going to feel the energy. And you're like, no, don't feel nothing, right? Like you're on the couch and you're like, and nope, it's not there. So firstly, I think we need to listen to our bodies. I think really the reason why I was unmotivated and unenergized because my body was telling me like, girl, you have been sucking at going to bed on time. You haven't been giving me sleep. Like really, she was ripping me a new one. I was like trying to hold my eyes open, but I had it in my mind like, no, you have to get stuff done. We have to be motivated. We have things to do. I had all these things, like I wanted to get all these things done, but because I was not physically giving my body what it needed, it couldn't move forward. And so I decided like, you know what? You can't do both at the same time. Like you can't be exhausted and be motivated at the same time. And you have to give up. Like it's going to be this vicious cycle until I give myself what my body needs. And so I decided, you know what? Okay, so if my body is telling me that it needs sleep, it's tired, and for whatever it's going through, I need to support it, I decided to take a nap and then just start going to bed early for the next couple days. And then after I felt rested, I would be able to move on to the next step, which was I cannot get stuff done and focus on the things that I want to be energized and motivated with, like my, podcasting episodes, when I don't have a clean house. That may not be your Achilles heel, but for me, I cannot focus on a project or doing something else when everything around me is just chaos. And so I was like, okay, step one, I need to give my body rest. Don't worry about anything else. And then once I feel like I'm in a good place and I'm in a good sleep rhythm again, and I've well rested, then let's focus on knocking out some house stuff so I can focus on the next things. Okay, but now we're into like daily things that you can do, because I've noticed when I get on my phone, when I'm scrolling Instagram, I get lost in Instagram reels and Instagram stories, that my energy is slowly draining from my eyeballs. Like, tell me I'm not exaggerating, guys. When you sit down and you realize 30 minutes later you've been watching reels for 30 minutes, obviously 30 minutes later, you're like actually tired. Like your eyes are tired and you are less energized than before. Like when you sat down, you're like, bubbly. You're like, oh, I'm going to watch a reel. And then you sat down and you're like, oh, now I don't want to do anything, right? And it sucks that our phones do that, because reels are super funny. I love to watch them. I'd rather watch reels probably than any Netflix show right now, because there just isn't any good ones for me to watch. But I think so we have to unplug. I need to get myself in a system of no, I cannot let myself scroll during the day in the middle, like 10 o'clock, because I got things to do. Like it'll screw up the rest of my day. So I need to plan out windows when I'm going to allow myself to look at my phone, or I need to be able to plug it in somewhere so I can't walk off with it. I can't watch it. I just have to, find a way to just really unplug during the day and then say, okay, between this time and this time, I'm going to allow myself to scroll freely and I have all the things done, or, what have you. And that's it. When that time is up, that's it. Get up and move on. The next thing that we can do to stay energized and motivated for the day is to make our beds and get dressed. My daughter always argues with me, why do I have to make my bed, Mom? I'm just going to make it messy again anyways. And it's like, no, if you accomplish this one thing, like the easiest thing that we could possibly do, it's easier to move on to the next and the next thing. Because we thrive off of that, right? We're like, yes, when we get something done, we're like, okay, next. I got this, next. This is done, next, right? And it's easy to keep moving on. So the bed is the first thing. And also there's something about having a clean, crisp bed that helps you to just feel good, feel like you have some closure to bedtime. Like you don't easily get back in it once it's made. It doesn't feel sloppy. Therefore, like your day feels more like ready to go and put together, So, and then also get dressed. When we get dressed, we show up better, right? Like I won't Instagram story and notice I won't get on and talk to my tribe or anything if I'm not put together. And if I don't do that all day long, then I don't even show up all day long, right? Or I don't call people, or I don't go out, I don't get stuff done because I haven't done my hair, this, that, and the other. But you are it's just like making your bed. You're one step closer to the next thing. So if I'm dressed and I feel good about myself, I feel like I look good, then I'm going to be able to get those other things done inside and outside of the house because I feel good and I look good. And I think, those things are important sometimes to help us be motivated. As stay-at-home moms, that can be a struggle, right? Because we think, why even try? Like, it's easier to give up than try, guys. It's so much easier. So you just have to choose, what are you going to put your effort towards? Giving up or actually trying? Because it's really honestly those two decisions that will keep you where you're at or push you forward to keep going and feeling good and being motivated throughout the day. We have to show up for ourselves, guys. And so maybe another way to help you stay energized and motivated is to take a day off. Like I said, I needed to realize and acknowledge that my body was not in a place that I wanted to get stuff done with, right? Like my mind was like, yeah, you're not going to get that done because you haven't done this first. You haven't served us first. And that is by sleeping. Like, girl, we need some sleep. Okay. And so maybe you just need to take a day off. Like, I know that feels so counterintuitive, but busyness does not equal accomplishment, especially when it's like frivolous busyness, right? Because we're like, we have to be doing something to accomplish. You guys, it's noisy in the background. If you can hear that, my toddler is like going through all the things, of course, in my office right now. I know. But it's like we feel like if we're busy, we're moving, then like, oh, we're doing something and we won't have that guilt. But then at the same time, the busyness that we're doing, because there's that exhaustion present, is like nothing. Like we still look around and we're like, and I moved 5,100 steps, but like nothing in the house has changed. Nothing actually got done. I just went in circles because I was exhausted. So give yourself a day off. Reprioritize what you need to get done. What are your priorities? Think about, like, in the day, what are the things that you need to help motivate you, that help make you feel good? So, like, I don't like to have things planned to a T, but I leave like a Post-it note that gives me like my major 5 to-dos or whatever. I know the first thing we need to do is make the bed. I need to get dressed, brush my teeth, do all those things, and then spend time with God for me, and then prioritize, like, okay, what is it that I really want to accomplish during the day, and what are the things that are going to get in the way? And that is my phone. Like, honestly, that's my biggest obstacle, is my phone, and getting lost down the rabbit hole of IG or Facebook or any of those things. And then, of course, kiddos, right? So it's me prioritizing. I want to spend time with him when he's awake. I don't want to be working when he's awake. I don't want to be distracted while he's awake. And then, like, planning out my day in that order of, like, okay, I can do this when he's up. I can do this when he's down. And what does that look like? How can I show up better? What do I need to put in place? And just thinking of, like, your priorities in that way and what you want to get done on the daily, whether it's, like, cleaning one thing in the house a day or, reaching out to a friend a day or a week. Okay, so what needs to get done to get to that place, right? And maybe it would be helpful if I planned out, like, went deeper into this of how do you navigate a schedule and stuff like that. But as of right now, I think the biggest resource that you can go to is to find Chelsea Joe, Systemize Your Life. She is the hacker of all, like, creating systems to create freedom in your motherhood, and it's amazing. She is the bomb. I don't know how she does it, but she has, like, block times throughout the day where she can she knows exactly what needs to be done. Her kiddos are busy. Like, it's just, she is an inspiration. And so anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys, because systemizing your life, or my life, is not my genius. So if you want to deep dive into that, she is your girl for sure. And then, like I said, creating a routine and rhythm. I think this is my last tip of, like, okay, when my kiddo goes down, I know that I cannot be scrolling because I have a 2-hour, 3-hour, whatever window during this nap time and this nap time. So what am I going to do? Like, having a plan and a rhythm. We get up, we make our beds, I take the kids to school. One of my kids I drive, one of my kids rides. And so when I get home, I watch her ride off to school, and then I get my youngest baby, we get in our stroller, we walk one of our dogs around the block. So that already gets me up, gets me outside, gets me motivated. It's something that I know is going to happen the same way every day, and it's a good way to start off my day, because I personally like to be outside. I like to move my body. I know that moving my body gives myself energy. It helps me to feel more awake, and movement is just good. It's good for the soul. And so I do that for myself. And then I know that I'm going to move my body again, later on in the afternoon when I'm feeling sluggish again. I'll have a workout ready, and my little one's awake. And so I can get that. It's something I can get done while he's awake, and we can do, and I can keep my eyes on him. And so you just have to think of, okay, what are already my natural rhythms of the day? How can I incorporate something that will bring myself more energy, whether it's drinking tea, reading the Bible, reading a book, doing, like, you guys, scrolling is not the answer. That will not get you to where you need to be. I promise you. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, you notice how, like, drained we feel after we scroll. It's a great nighttime thing. Like, at the end of the night, when you're just brain dumping and you're done, like, do it then. But not in the middle of the day, because I feel like it distracts us so much. So to wrap this up and bring it all together about how we cannot rely on an external source to get us motivated, because we have to be the ones to get the cycle going. Yes, like, I can pop in a motivational YouTube or put on some music, right? Like, there's things that we're actually doing to help motivate us, but we have to do the doing. Like, the song isn't magically going to come on its own. We can't wake up and hope that the motivation fairies are going to sprinkle some magical energy dust on us, and then we're just going to, like, wake up pumped and amped and ready to go. And maybe, like, 1 out of 365 days that happens, right? But for the most part, we just have to wake up and know that, okay, I have to do these steps, or I have to put one foot in front of the other to knock down the dominoes to help me stay motivated and energized through the day. Whether that's certain teas that you drink that help boost your energy, getting out for the morning walk in the morning to knock over the first domino, so that way you accomplish the laundry, which knocks over the next domino of getting your work done because you don't have to worry about the laundry, or this, that, and the other. And so I think just knowing that we have to be the ones to show up for ourselves every single day, to pour into ourselves, whether it means that we need to prioritize, plan out our day correctly, put away our phones, give ourselves extra sleep, or even, going to the doctor. If you feel like you have chronic exhaustion, there was a point before I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's to where I could not sleep enough. Like, it was ridiculous. I woke up from naps tired, went to bed tired, like constantly tired. And it was not me. Like, that's not something you can control. That's something that you have to go get checked out, because my hormones were off. And obviously I realized then after that I had Hashimoto's, and then I was able to take the necessary steps after that, which is, I digress. But I'm just saying, we have to be the ones to put one foot in front of the other, to make the choice today that we are worth choosing, what we do that is going to ultimately end up how our day ends up, or control how our day ends up. So we can either choose to scroll and therefore, everything is just going to fall flat thereafter. Or we can choose to do the hard things, show up even when we don't feel like it, and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to do XYZ, take a nap, wake up, do XYZ, not look at my phone, and then go, whatever. Be kind to yourself, because obviously this isn't a game of which mom can do the most. This is just you feeling good, feeling motivated, and feeling energized when you have kiddos at home, when you're trying to work from home, what have you. Because, man, no matter what your mom job is, it is a task. If you could see right now, my little one is literally over my shoulder wiggling because he wants to reach this microphone. It's insane. So I'm going to end this here. I hope you guys find that helpful. If you did find it helpful, share it with a friend, subscribe, join the mom community on Facebook, and I will catch you next time.